2 days ago, I attended Ohio State Summer, where I did not do too well, but I was kind of given an idea for this video by an interaction I had with two Pyraminx solvers of different levels. So before Pyraminx finals, I was warming up, I was doing some solves, and an intermediate Pyraminx solver who was averaging maybe 5 seconds was watching me solve. He was asking, I did one solve, and he asked how I one-looked it. Because it looked like I one-looked it fairly quickly. I had a very short inspection, and I explained to him how I one-looked it, and basically it was this trigger, which is from the one-flip method, R prime U L prime, or variations of it like E U prime L, things like that. And basically this trigger preserves these two pieces and flips this edge while solving the center case. So it's really easy to one look if you have a V that's like that, because you just know this edge is going to be flipped, and that's really, really easy to visualize. But while I was explaining this to him, another Pyraminx solver who was much faster, I would consider him an advanced solver, he was averaging about 2.1 seconds with a PR average similar to mine, came up and asked what we were talking about. I set up a case for him, and with this trigger in it, and he did it wrong. So that is why I am making this video. Recently, I was doing some Pyraminx solves about like literally 30 seconds ago, and I got 2 scrambles with this case in it in a row. So I was reminded of my idea for this video. So I am going to go through both of these solves and explain how I used this trigger to force a good scramble. Both of these solves were 1.76s, and the first one looks like this. You can see we have a 3-move V on red, and it's L U prime R, which is just the mirror of the trigger. But if you notice in the top layer, this edge is flipped. And because none of the pieces in the V are in the top layer, besides this one, which is not going to be in, like, it's going to be the edge that's missing anyway, we can do pre-AUFs to determine which edge gets flipped and force a better L4E case. So if we were to flip this edge, we get bad ugly, which is okay, but not great. If we flip this edge, we get left or righty spam, which is also okay, but not great. But if we notice, this edge is flipped perfectly, so if we do a U before and then flip the edge, we get a hedge slammer, which is much better. And then after getting that scramble while practicing a couple minutes ago, I got this one right after, which isn't quite as obvious because this, on this scramble, we're doing one move, and now we have the same trigger like that. And you can notice that if we have 2 places where we can do AUFs to influence flipped edge. So the first and most obvious one is after doing this move, we can flip any edge. So this one gives us a no bar case, this one gives us a really bad case, and this one, which is just not AUFing at all, gives us a 3 cycle, which is not bad. But we can also do a pre-AUF before, or we can also do an AUF before we do this R move, right? So this is the solution I ended up doing. If we do a U and then the R, now we're in the same situation as before, where if I do a U prime and flip this flipped edge, I get a sledgehammer, which is much better than a 3 cycle or either of the other cases.